What's up, Pit Stop crew? We are doing our third North Carolina barbecue
Yep,
review, and it is going to be Midwood in Huntersville, North Carolina. We went to the location inside of, what's that place called?
Birkdale.
Birkdale,
Yep,
yeah.
Birkdale.
The place that's kind of an extravagant part of
Shopping experience.
Huntersville. Lots
Yes.
of nice shopping in there. It's kind of funny that they would throw a barbecue restaurant in there, but once you walk in, you kind of understand how it fits in the area. It's a super nice. They've put a lot of money into the
Mhm.
inside of this place. The first thing that hit me in the face is that good old smell of hickory wood. But then my eyes were sucked into this big, beautiful rotisserie
Yep,
fire pit in the back.
yep, over here in the back. So, how would I describe this place? I would almost say it's a very cool, laid back barbecue honky tonk because you have that old country music playing. You have these vintage pictures all over the wall. Straight view back, you can see the kitchen with the pit over here with the pit master going to town doing his thing.
Yeah, it kind of reminded
Yeah.
me a little bit of a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. You had the line in the
Mhm.
back, but then your eyes are just drawn to this awesome pit. And being a barbecue guy, of course, the pit's where it's
Yep.
at. And it's got a huge flame going on inside of it the whole time on the backside, which is kind of cool for presentation. And then you can see them back there just locking and
Doing
loading
his
that thing
thing.
with
Yep.
chicken and briskets and ribs and all everything. So it's a really cool restaurant and ambiance as you come in.
Absolutely. So overall, this is our third one, and overall, I have to call this out. The selection and variety was amazing. I thought it had so many offerings.
Yeah,
It
and
was, and it was good stuff too.
out of this one, I don't think they had the best of anything, but I
Mm-mm.
think they were the most consistent across the board, like of their meats. They
Mhm.
were all their meats were great, and I would go back for them. But I don't think anything is gonna be like, oh man, they got the best of this or the best of that. But it was consistent, and their sides were really, really good. So we'll
Yeah.
get it. We'll kind of get into it and kind of go ahead and start with the sides, and then we'll roll into the meats.
Yep. Let's start with the sides. So unfortunately, they did not have potato salad. Sad face. But I did try the coleslaw. It was a good peppery. It was peppered, mustard y, tangy y. It was all over the place, but it was a good balanced coleslaw. Nothing crazy overall that hit me to the top. Just basic.
Yeah, I did not like their coleslaw. I found it very bland. There was nothing that kind of kicked it up. Just to give it mid-level coleslaw, it was just kind of a not so good coleslaw. I would not go there and order coleslaw. So I just letting you know that one. And it could have been a bad day for coleslaw that
Yeah.
day, but it was just bland to me.
Okay. Well, I did like the baked beans. They were a good mix. It had peppers, bell peppers, I believe, pulled pork, some
Mhm.
spices with a little slow afterburn because it was just a hint of spice. I
Yeah,
really like those.
Yeah, they took the sweet kind of baked beans like you think of when you when you buy some Bush's baked beans at the store, and then they kind of just spiced it up a little bit with the Texas chili and some bell pepper. And not saying that their baked beans were copied off of that in any way,
Oh, we
but
love bushes.
yeah, Bush's is
Oh yeah,
awesome. It's a
they're
good
awesome.
base, but they had a very Texas chili note, but they had a lot of bell pepper in there, and then they threw the pulled pork in there, which gave it kind of like that, I don't know, just an extra layer of flavor, which was really good.
That's the
And
second one we've had with pulled pork in the beans. I really like that
and
actually.
then they kind of put a little barbecue sauce on at the end to give it a little sweetness. So it all balanced out real well. I really like their baked beans. They're very, very solid, and I would definitely go back just for the baked beans if I weren't allowed to eat anything else. I think I would definitely go back for the beans.
So we got two bonus sides with this one. One, I could have fed my daughter to the end of time because she didn't order it. Her daddy did, and she ended up eating it all. Was the mac and cheese.
Yeah, the mac and cheese is really good. It was, I just thought of that old Southern homemade mac and cheese comes out of the oven with a layer of Ritz over the top, crackers, and it was just, crispy top, really good and ooey gooey all the way
Good fear
through.
factor.
And just the cheese, sometimes cheese overpowers things, and I think it was just well balanced. So it was really good mac and cheese.
Now, the other bonus side we had was the special of the day. It's not something they carry all the time, but it was a Mexican street corn on the cob. And my goodness, it was so good. With the creaminess, the spiciness, I tore that thing up. Y'all need to put that on your menu. It was
Yeah,
very good.
and I'm not a big corn on the
Oh,
cob person,
so
so I
good.
didn't try that one. But I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity to try it
No,
anyway
you
because
wouldn't.
it was gone really, really fast.
So we did do the trifecta, the ribs, the pulled pork, and the brisket, and we also got a bonus meat with this one as well, their sausage. We'll start with the ribs. I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, so one of the cool things was that I always look for is customer service, and we normally will or she'll order a platter, I'll order a platter, and then we'll kind of eat off of each other's platter
Mhm.
to make to get us to where we need to be to meet all our meat and side criteria. But she came back and said, well, if you get this other platter, it'll be cheaper, it'll be more affordable, and it'll be cheaper on your bill, and you'll get more stuff. So we ended up going with that, and I will talk about the pulled pork first. Their
Okay.
pulled pork had great smoke on it. That pit they have in the back definitely does a good job. I think it encompasses and cooks very evenly. I think that's from the rotisserie style that it is. Um, I couldn't taste much seasoning on the pulled pork, but it definitely had a good crunch, skin to meat ratio. Sometimes they'll mix the when they cook a whole with the skin on, like butt or piece of meat, they'll and chop it up and incorporate that skin in there, and it definitely had a good skin to meat ratio, which I like, and it had a great smoke flavor and an awesome color. But they brought out two sauces with it, the Eastern and the Western. The Western always, has ketchup in it, so it's a little more red, and the Eastern's more vinegar based. And both of those sauces were on point with what you want with the sauce and mixed
Great.
well with their pulled pork.
Now, I agree with the pulled pork. It had a great smoke flavor to it. It just flavor wise, it wouldn't stand on its own without a little sauce to it.
Yeah.
It was good, tender. I'm not the barbecue aficionado, if I said that right. I put that in your wheelhouse, but the brisket, I will say, had a great pepper flavor to it and a big smoke like presence to me. I really liked the brisket.
Yeah, so the brisket was cooked perfect, had a great smoke ring, and like she said, when you eat a brisket, you want to at least get a note of pepper on there as your rub. And it was tender and juicy. We had a mix of the lean and the fatty, and they both delivered. They were both juicy. It was just cooked well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best brisket we've had yet, but it's definitely close. It was definitely cooked evenly, and it had a beautiful, beautiful smoke ring on it.
Yeah, we got decent sized portions considering the amount of food we got. And I haven't even touched on the sausage, but overall we had a good sized portion that it fed us for like another meal and a half.
We brought it home and snacked on it later, and it was definitely plenty of food.
So this is one we disagree on a little bit because I actually enjoyed the sausage quite a bit. It was a cheddar jalapeno sausage. To me, I loved it. It was one of my favorites there at that place.
So my thing with sausages is tricky. You want to taste the meat, and anytime you put cheese in a sausage, if you use certain cheeses like a cheddar cheese or something that's a little bolder, you run that risk of I mean everybody loves cheese. Cheese is a great flavor, but you run that risk of masking the meat
Yeah.
sausage, that grind of the spices and the meat. And I think it's a great sausage. If you're gonna do a jalapeno sausage, you want to taste the jalapenos. Didn't get a lot of jalapenos, got a lot of cheese. I cut from several different places on it just to make sure it just wasn't an extra cheesy area. But it seems like they run cheese through it close to the skin, which is fine. I guess is how they do it. But just to me, it was a lot of cheese, not enough meat, spice. It was a good sausage. It was just very cheesy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my favorite. It's just fine. Um, so overall, kids options, they had a lot of kids options. I give them an A plus with the variety in the kids. And the one option she did choose was a burger and fries, and had those nice thick crunchy crinkle fries I like. So good job on those. And the description I got from her with the burger was, it was good. But she ate it all, so apparently it was good enough to eat it all.
Yeah, she was more enamored with the mac and cheese.
Yes, she was all about the mac and cheese.
So then the ribs, I think were kind of the star of the show there. They were cooked right. You know, they weren't fall off the bone, but they came off the bone when you bit into them and you cleaned the bone. They had a really good mix of dry rub and a finished like Midwood. Their Midwood barbecue sauce was what they finished with, and it came off. They put it on there while they finished the ribs, and it just came off with this great flavor. I think by far, so far, these are by far the best ribs that we've had. They did not cook these ribs with the membrane on them. They were St. Louis style ribs where they cut the spare rib down. I think that's kind of where the first two places not fell short, but a lot of people when you eat a full spare rib don't realize that there's that fat and gristle in the middle, and you kind of got to eat around it. And you can get that surprise chomp on a bone or fat and gristle sometimes. So I like that they trimmed it down to a St. Louis. I'm more of a baby back person myself, but these were really, really done well. Their Midwood barbecue sauce is really good.
Very good.
I really
Very
like that
good.
a lot.
However, my favorite of theirs, surprisingly enough, was the sweet habanero sauce. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, all their sauces were good. Even the mustard sauce surprised me. I'm not a big fan of mustard in barbecue, and yeah, I'm not trying to hate on South Carolina or anything, but that's what they're known for. But I really thought their mustard sauce would be like an upper level sauce for chicken tenders. I thought that would just pair really, really well with chicken tenders. So if I ever go back there, I'll probably get some chicken tenders and throw it in that sauce and see what happens.
That would be a good meal.
Yeah, but their Eastern and Western barbecue sauces were good. Their Midwood barbecue sauce was really, it's a nice, sweet, yet smoky. I can tell that they probably put it on the pit. That pit was pretty magical. I think if I had that pit, I would throw as much stuff on there as I could. I think their habanero sauce, like she said, was really good. It had a little bit of heat on the back end, but nothing crazy. It's not going to deter you if you don't like heat. But I thought all their sauces were really good. One of the big things that we found out is they use hickory embers, which is really common in this area. Hickory is plentiful around here. And I think with the combination of that rotisserie smoker, it just cooks stuff like very, very well, very evenly.
Everything was tender. Everything had a great level of smoke. I mean, it just wasn't anything like that was showstopper, but it was very well balanced. Like everything delivered a good flavor, good.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is the most well-rounded. Like if I went there, I'd want everything again. I'd want to eat everything again because it was all good. Just nothing was like over the top, except maybe their ribs were, kind of they could be elevated, and I probably would say that that's probably by far my favorite thing that was there. They also had some really good hush puppies. They did small hush puppy balls, which makes them consistently crunchy with that nice soft middle. It was the right balance of, that sweet mix, and it paired well with all their sauces. I also like to dip it in ketchup too, just to try it, because that was kind of the thing I did when I was a kid, was eat hush puppies and ketchup. But it paired with everything really nice. I really like the hush puppies. I really liked everything about this place. Well, definitely, we used to go to a ramen noodle place down there a lot when we go to Huntersville. But I think now we'll probably split that. Ramen one time, barbecue the next.
Absolutely.
Definitely a winner.
A little bit of a crazy location, but the big question is, will we go back? Sounds like we will.
Absolutely.
They are spreading out several locations. It looks like they got several in North Carolina and one in South Carolina now in Columbia. So they're giving everybody a chance to try them out now.
Yeah, they're more of a local chain restaurant that's starting to expand and become a bigger chain restaurant. Yep. So if they're in your area, they're definitely in the Charlotte area. They have a couple locations around Charlotte. And if you're ever out this way, Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina, definitely stop in and give them a try. They're awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.